my hair is still damp, so just be warned, if it looks damp then it's because it's damp. Okay, hello everyone, it's Danny, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing well, and if you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. This video is like a bit of a weird one for me. Well, it's not weird because I have done college and school related videos like way earlier back. It was like before September, before I came into year 13. But basically, I wanted to do one now because I'm in year 13, have my exams coming up, and I've done a few before the Easter holidays. Now it's Easter holidays and I've got like 2 weeks-ish now. Gonna prepare for the ones that are after it. Obviously they're not like mocks, we're just doing ones in classrooms, however they're still under exam conditions, so I don't really see the difference in all honesty. Being in an exam hall and being in the classroom to me feels the exact same. I wanted to give a few like, not tips, but just kind of how I revise, because I've been told that not many people know how to revise. I don't know, I just want to help people out basically. So yeah, I have been asked to do this video. I've been asked to do like a study with me, but like, I don't know if you want like a real-time one, a time-lapse one. I don't know, I feel like I get way too distracted sometimes to do one of those videos, and I don't really know what it would consist of. But if that's something you'd want me to do, please let me know. I'm just gonna get into this video because I've got quite a bit to say, a bit to show you, and I'm rambling. No one's here to hear my life story. Okay, before I get into like what I do, I'm going to tell you guys like what I really don't suggest that you do. Now, I'm not saying that this is the same for everybody, so if you're doing this and it's working perfectly well for you, then by all means carry on. I'm not telling you to stop. But if anybody wants a little bit of advice, I would advise not to just write out a textbook. In all honesty, what is that actually doing? You're not like actively revising and testing your brain and your knowledge. You're just copying it out, and half the time you can't even remember what you just wrote down 5 minutes ago. And honestly, I used to do that. I used to think, oh, it's fine, I'm just making like a mind map. Okay, mind maps are great, but unless you're like connecting all of your ideas together to like, process it all, I just don't recommend. What I do is I stay clear of reading textbooks and rewriting textbooks on notes and notes that you did in class as well. Like, no idea what's going on today, but my camera keeps going really dark, so bear with me. What I was saying was, I know people like to be neat and make things look like aesthetic and pretty and stuff. I am like that. Like, I do coordinate my colours, but I do not spend so long, like hours. I know people spend hours creating a mind map and the page just to make it look all pretty, make a nice aesthetic title, cool fonts and stuff. All that's well and good, but is it really the best use of your time? Probably not. I'm telling you to just kind of chill. I feel like there's so many better ways that I can just tell you that you're probably going to see more results with. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have like, notes made or you shouldn't have flashcards made, because if you're having your exams after these holidays like I am, you probably should already have like your revision materials made. Personally, using my psychology ones, we get like what's it called, like a booklet with all the key information from like the spec and stuff, and we work through that. So I don't make the notes in class, but when I come home I condense like the stuff and I put them onto flashcards. So these are my attachment ones, just the key points. If I've got an exam that day, I'll take these with me just so I can like test my knowledge, like keep recalling it, but I've not got the entire of the spec written down. You see how like condensed it is? This is schizophrenia. I've got reliability and validity on here, and then I've just got a few key points for each of them, and then I also have like my AO3 if anybody does psychology, which is just your analysis part. Before an exam I will just refresh my memory, and it's also kind of like a confidence booster because I feel like I know stuff. I'm sorry, I'm on a tangent, but right, with flashcards, if you're going to make them, you have to actually use them. Writing them out is all well and good, but if you're not going to use them, there's just no point. It's just a waste of time. It's just like writing out the textbook again. Actually use these. Get someone to test you, get your mum to test you, and if not, instead of writing them on like both sides like I have done, because I want to minimise the amount of card I use, just write like the topic here, and then on the back have like all the information so you can test yourself if no one is available to test you. I think that's a good idea anyway. I know that not a lot of people are going to have them prepared. If you haven't got like revision materials already made, there are quite a few things online that you can use. Psychology have like this thing called Tutor to You, and if you haven't, just go search it. I did an awful job at explaining that. Basically, YouTube will probably be a really good place to go to. Tutor to You is on YouTube. There's like Psych Boost. And then there's also things like Seneca. I don't know if your school's made that available to you or not, but yeah, don't forget that. They have like mind maps that are already created. They have like revision pad things. Basically all the information you need is already there for you, created. Don't waste your time writing it out. Just print off one of them and it'll be there. Okay, presumably you've already sorted that out now. Once you've done that, here's what I would suggest to do. This is what I do anyway. You kind of just take a flashcard, say I'm going to pick a topic. What am I doing? I'm just going to do psychology because we have so many topics. It's so much easier to talk about. I'm doing approaches. I'm going to do about the biological approach. and I am going to use my flashcards, test myself on it, see what I know, see what I don't know. Once I feel like I can recall all like the key parts of the content from them flashcards in that section, I go and do some exam papers on them, do some mini tests like topic tests and things like that. I'm going to do something with that knowledge, if that makes sense, because it's all well and good knowing the content, but I feel like sometimes it's more about just learning the mark schemes, which is what I'm going to say. If you literally just go onto any exam board or the exam board you're doing, hopefully you know what that is at this point, go on there, go onto the website, and you'll find loads of past papers, specimen papers. Just print them off, or even don't, just answer the questions, but like actually mark them. Don't worry about the score that you get too much, because I feel like that's sometimes you can get in your head with the scores and stuff. Actually mark them, revise the mark scheme, like really read all the mark scheme, and also the examiner's comments, because they kind of usually talk about all the mistakes that are most common, and you want to avoid that so you can get the marks in the future. The more you do, the more you'll get like familiar and used to the mark scheme. And it'll also get you familiar with the more common content that they ask you about, and also like what content that you actually need to know and what's just like extra information from like your wider reading. Does that make sense? Because at this point, hopefully you've done some practice, you've done some past papers, some exam questions and everything. You just repeat the process and make sure that you come back to the questions that you got wrong and maybe retry them the next day in a few hours time. Just know that if you got that question or a question very similar to that, you know how to answer it. It's just the one that I had on my hand because I was doing PE before. Basically, don't waste your money on so many textbooks. Your school will most likely give them to you unless you're like a really big school, but we got given quite a few, but this is one I bought myself because it's more condensed. That is literally summarised in a table of everything I need to know on cognitive stress management techniques. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't waste your money on really expensive textbooks. You can most likely find them online, but if not, get a summarised like revision guide. Show you kind of like an example of what I've been doing. So this is a test that I've been doing. Do you see the red pen? That's me adding things that I didn't know. How many marks did I get? Okay, so on this question I got 1 out of 4, which isn't great. I'm going to revisit this paper, say tomorrow or the next day. I don't actually know when at this point, but hopefully I will have remembered what I've written down here. So the cardiovascular drift, if anybody's interested. And also don't like mark yourself and be like, oh, I kind of got that, because you're just kind of cheating yourself. Like, there's just no point. Mark schemes are going to be your biggest friend. Make sure you know when your exams are, by the way, as well. I made like a little kind of list of my exams. So I've got like week 1, which exams I've got then, and all that. It's not great because our school didn't actually give us like a individual timetable for exams. They just kind of gave us like a generic booklet. And for me, that's just too much. Like, I need it on my wall so I can like cross it off. Don't spend too long revising because you're going to stress yourself out. Probably not going to be beneficial. Work smarter. Take breaks. Don't just sit there all day doing it. If anybody has any other tips, put them in the comments. I'm sure that'll help people out. And I will do the same if I think of anything else. I'll put it in the comments, obviously, because I want to help people out. Yeah, if you want any more videos like this, have any questions, ask me. I love answering comments. It makes me happy. Genuinely interested. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. And good luck with your exams if I do not mention them in another video before you do them. Yeah, bye.